Hello everyone, and welcome back to this second war of the season. We are back against Legion here, and I'm, as you can see, bringing in a kind of new team in as much as I've got Ultron. This is because ultimately I'm taking on Path 9 in Section 2, which, spoilers, will be somewhat of a disaster. Here, first of all, we've got this Havoc, which is on Path 4 in Section 1. This node isn't too tricky, well, it kind of is. As I've said before when I take this node, the thing that people always forget here is that there is I forget what it's called, but the node which, per debuff that I have on me, my ability accuracy is my defensive ability accuracy is reduced by 10%. So the reason they placed Havoc here is that even if you have a Havoc immune, your parries are pretty likely to fail. So there, oh well, that was a double medium anyway, but when you parry his light attack, so your reparries are quite likely to fail with all these debuffs on you. Of course, if you land you get your armor ups on parries, so the reason they've placed him here is because there's a chance that you'll just stop gaining armor ups. And if you stop gaining armor ups, then his his prowess, sorry, his plasma will build up on you and you will die, as Ultron at least. Here I'm getting pretty lucky, even though I've got a bunch of debuffs on me, I'm still gaining armor ups, and I'm still trying my best to bait heavies to minimize him gaining plasma. I'm pushing to SP2, because the more SP2s he throws, the less plasma I get on me. So that's the strategy here. Here I've got, what is that, 8 debuffs on me or something like that? Well, it keeps changing a bit. A lot of ability accuracy. But I'm just basing up SP2. Or keeping a vague track of my armor ups, because I know that if they ever get low, I can just block a bunch and hope I get more. There I do, and get a nice reparry. And at this point, the fight's under control. So I'm sure this could have gone badly, but luckily here it didn't. Oh boy, that's not what I'll be saying for the rest of the war. So now we head on immediately. We're doing all this stuff now because I've got to clear the shared fight at the end of my section 2 for someone else to move on and do stuff while I'm asleep. So I am now fighting this Bishop. Now, the reason they placed Bishop here is because Ultron is the classic Bishop counter, but the problem is Ultron does lots of stuns on his special attacks, and this is the one eye open node where damage that Bishop takes when he is stunned is reflected back on me. Now, I'm only Sig 20, and I do 3 hits there, and I see how much damage I've taken from shots, and at that point I immediately think, oh dear, my signature ability is not going to do anything, I'm taking way too much damage, I need to play this like a singular move. So what this means is that I'm going to only hit him really when he's got when he's in the bleed phase, and I'm going to try, initially I played this wrong and I'm baiting out the SP1, because I'm thinking, that's fine, I can just sort of keep my distance. I really should be baiting SP2s, but there we go, because the Incinerates, as I'm about to get on me, as you can see here, still do too much damage even at Sig 20. Or rather, too much damage for my liking. Arguably, I misplayed this fight completely, because I should have just let myself regen with all the stuff, and instead I get cornered, because I'm either waiting out Incinerates or I'm waiting out shocks. And as you'll see in a moment, getting cornered, I end up getting smacked quite a lot. I get pushed into the corner here, basically, because I spent so much time with this fight in my corner. I get smacked by the heavy, I've lost my invulnerability boost. I'm thinking, oh dear, this is pretty bad, I'm wasting time when I could be hitting him in his bleed phase. Finally, he throws his SP2, fully evaded, which is nice. Hit him a few times, and we're back to shock mode, so now I'm back dancing in the corner. So I think I pretty much completely misplayed this fight. If I did it again, I probably would do it very differently. Still getting smacked, because apparently I can't evade that. I trigger my first regen, throw a nice SP2 with decent damage, doesn't stun him, thank goodness, and I'm able to carry on my offensive. Here I'm pushing him into another SP2, because I think now I definitely want to deal with that. I just block, because I get all this tankiness, I get all the armor ups, and I get the regen. Here I'm feeling much better now, so I'm just parrying him, waiting out, and not hitting him, waiting out for the shocks. I managed to fully evade that, but I get smacked here because I suck. And here I'm thinking, that's fine, I've got to win this. Fully evade, hit him a bunch, push him to SP3 and throw it. I think if this doesn't finish him, I'm sure I can finish him in the hits that follow. Managed to get 20% bonus, which is nice. Now, as you'll see here, I don't quite finish him. I leave him on 2% or something, and scary thing happens. Poof! You see there, I lost almost all my health, he lost all his health, and I won. So fundamentally I'm thinking, oh, one, go me. But at the same time I'm thinking, what the hell just happened? And if you were to rewatch that, I'm sure you would notice that the damage I took equals the same amount of damage that he took from my SP3. So what must have happened is that Ultron's special stunned him, and even though of course in the animation he's not stunned, the stun is sort of seen to apply before you do all the damage, and hence the damage was reflected back on me. So I don't know who would have died first if I'd done more damage to him and therefore to myself, but luckily I didn't. So at that point I'm kind of shaken, but I'm sort of happy that I won. A solo is a solo, as we say here, and I move on to Hit Monkey. And oh boy, the disaster continues. I wasn't really worried about this fight. I was thinking, that's fine, I'm just going to do my normal thing against Hit Monkey. I'm not going to knock him down. I'm just going to hit him a bunch and he'll die. And as before, I'm going to play passive during the shock phase. However, this definitely was a big mistake. I should not have got cornered so quickly. And even as I did get cornered, I should have immediately started hitting him. Just to clear myself space, because now I'm getting smacked by heavies. I'm taking loads of damage because he can't evade his heavy against the wall. There I noticed an evade. I'm thinking, whoa, 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 how did he evade? Dash into hit into his block. He does a perfect sidestep against me. Takes me down to almost dead, 1%. Can't believe I didn't die there. In the corner. Shock mode, so I don't want to hit him. I chance a heavy there. Luckily I don't get the shock, and I manage to get a bit of space. I hit him again there. Get lucky a few times here that I don't get the shock. Got some regen, thank goodness. And I'm kind of thinking here, maybe I can pull this back. Whoa, he evaded there. I'm not sure why he's evading. I then realised that this is a sort of, when I evade, he starts to evade, and this was an Ultron trap. So I'm thinking that's fine. Oh, terrible matchup, but I can still kind of make it through. What I need to do is just play nice and safe during the shock, get into his block. Oh, evade, and I'm dead. And I'm going to replay that and slow it down. And what happens here is, because my evade thing, which I can't control, triggers, I fully evade his SP2, well, SP1, but the third shot, even though I dex it, it still counts as an evade as well, and I wasn't expecting that. Even though I performed the dex and the little dexterity callout happened, it counted as an evade at the same time, which is kind of weird. I wasn't really expecting that it would be an evade and a dex at the same time. I was expecting it just to be a dex. Which meant that he triggered his evade, and yeah, he counterattacked me. So there we go. First death of the season. It's obviously pretty annoying to die. Part of me is always like, oh, maybe I can get a nice long streak, but at the same time, it's nice not to have the pressure of the death of the season. So there we go. This second fight almost goes as badly. I can't remember exactly what I do here. Here, of course, I'm parrying much more and hitting into his block much more, which I didn't do the first time. And my thinking here is just play super cautious. There I know that he can evade. I think I go for one hit and immediate block, yep, because I know that he can evade. There I only do one hit because I don't want to chance it, hit into his block because I don't think he can evade into his block. And I'm also hitting into his block to stall out time. And you'll see here I'm doing much better, and wait out this bit and wait until he gets the bleed. And oh no, that doesn't quite kill him. I have to wait out another evade here, I think. Oh yeah, that's right. He does another sidestep. Jeez. Parry, and then I surely finish him. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, overall, pretty terrible. Apparently Dreamer was behind me taking their matchup. He said it was fine. He said that Ultron could take a monkey fine. You know, obviously I'm tempted to blame Dreamer, but of course it's up to the players as well to think about the matchups. And if I'd studied it a bit more, I would have realised that my evade triggers his evade, right? We live and learn. We being the operative word. Now my last fight before I go to bed is this Mojo on kinetic transference. This is an easy Spidey fight because, especially here, because I've got the antivenom synergy. So I'm going to start with the Wither. Kinetic transference does nothing. If anything, he's losing power when he hits into my block. I don't gain buffs, so I don't degen unless I get hit by an SP3, I think. So it's pretty simple. I'm get a bit of heavy on there just to get a bit of extra minus power. I'm still generally a bit rattled. Still play this fight pretty poorly. There I like miss parries and stuff. Or maybe I'm doing it to drain his power. No, that's too charitable. I do miss parry. Yeah, my plan here is to get to SP2 and hit him, but of course I forget that Of course, I'm trying to pause my buff, but I forget that he gets the indestructible buff on him. So I throw the SP2 here and it does absolutely nothing. So I'm wasting time there. But of course, I'm not really in danger of dying here because I can't degen. So it's just a case of don't get hit really. I do a decent job of not getting hit. The power gain from his depleting prompts doesn't really matter because I've got 2 withers on him now, so he's losing an awful lot of power when he completes his mission, so when he hits into my block. Here I am, however, trying to put out the SP1 still. And yeah, this is not. I just need to make this. Here I wait out the indestructible buff. Doesn't take too long. Throw my SP2 and presumably win. Almost, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's it for the pre-bed portion of the war. And as you're about to see, I'm going to wake up and move on to my mini and my boss. So we rejoin the action here in the morning at this very familiar Mangog. I've got Spidey, I've got Anti-Venom, and even more than that, I have the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights. So this is an absolute walk in the park. I've got all the pre-fight power control I could possibly want. I don't even heal up to full. Potions are so precious here. I go for a Dex, and of course I screw it up. Dex first and then parry heavy because I want to pause my my Wither, which I just about do, and then I go for my standard tactic of Dex parry heavy. This isn't even optimized. I'm not even doing the. I didn't respec masteries to give me the Petrify mastery because I don't really need to. Dex and parry heavy, watching out for the global 2 of course. There, I'm ready for it, so I just Dex, I don't try and parry. And now that I have my SP2, throw it, get your second Wither, refresh it, refresh the Mr. Fantastics, dash back to pause everything, and he's slowly losing power here, thanks to the massive amounts of power drain that he has. So, nice and easy. I think this is the ideal situation for this fight. He won't throw a special at all. Yeah, he's losing power at a rather alarming rate. So I'm still playing it by the book. I'm still just doing pretty basic hits. There, I know I can do what I like, so I hit him a few times just for fun. As long as I don't do 5-hit combos, just to get to an SP2 quicker. Haven't paused debuffs in a while, so I do that. Wait out the indestructible, and yeah, I guess I hit him here. I hit him here a few times, waiting to get to the SP2, and nice easy fight. Oh, there I wasn't paying full enough attention. Don't get smacked though, which is good because that saves me a potion, and the fight's over. So nice and easy, and we're now still on boss duty for the second war in a row. It's Nimrod, just like the last war, but luckily for me, this is just a rank 3. Mastery changes here. I'm of course throwing on suicides because I still don't want to time out. I think I need them. Sustainability as well as the damage. Here I'm kind of racing. I think I almost am able to get in there with the same advanced power boost, but it doesn't matter. I've got enough of those. And yeah, the exact same strategy as last war. I think it goes sort of basically the same. I mean, obviously he's a rank 3, so he has less attack and health, but the beginning of the fight could still get hairy. Yeah, see here he starts unstoppable, whereas before he didn't. So I just have to bait out a second heavy, and begin the journey to SP3. I'm doing as many aggressive intercepts as I can, just to give myself as much power during the windows that I do have. There he does go unstoppable, so I have to wait. Again, I probably could get smacked, but I choose not to risk that. So as I think I said last time, the main thing that can kill you in this fight is if you push him to an SP2. He's in the what's it called? He's in that phase where he eradicate? Yeah, I think it's called eradicate. He's in that eradicate mode where the SP2 is unblockable and does an absolute shedload of shock damage. I'm pretty well. I don't know if the 75% damage reduction is enough to save me. He's got so much extra attack and stuff that it probably isn't, especially high sig. I assume these guys are all high sig, but I'm not sure. So the plan is basically just to bait out SP1s, and if I do ever push him to SP2, just be really careful. I'm finally at the SP3, so I've got the slow. Nice and easy. Here this did push him to an SP2, so I'm a bit... And we are in eradicate mode here. Luckily I nail my dexing, which is fine, because it's not too hard to dex at all, really. Pause my debuffs and get in there while the slow is on him. I don't remember, I think, yeah, I do just bait out the SP1. I like specifically try to bait it. I decided to go for the same strategy as last time, where I used the SB1 because I want to get the extended pause on my slow. You'll see there that I've got the 15 resistance charges in there. I've got that little web icon which is now ticking down, which is the extended pause, because I really want to keep the slow, don't want to have to get back to SB3. And I'm hoping therefore that as I continually bait SB1s, I will be able to pause it indefinitely now. So that's the game plan. And yeah, it's not a particularly interesting fight other than that. So bait SB1s, even if I get hit by them in Eradicate mode, it doesn't matter. Of course, he gets the Energize passive, or is it Energize buff? Bluff. Yeah, so he's got a lot of power, so I'm spending a lot of time baiting out SB1, but I don't really mind. Keeps me dexing, keeps the debuff paused, throw a wither. There it does push him to SB2, but again oh, that's right. I see he's not in Eradicate mode, so I don't even try. I just block it. I think that's fine. Yeah, there's no... since he's not unblockable, I'm not even going to risk getting smacked and getting shocked. There I do get smacked, but it's fine. Base out the SB1. I think my evades for SB1 are pretty clean this time around. Last time they kept getting clipped. Yeah, pretty clean. Throw this SB2. Pretty close now. I can see I've got 2:30 on the clock. 2 minutes is sort of my goal, because it was about 1 minute and a half or something left last time, so an extra 30 seconds should make up for the extra rank. He's still got a lot of power, so I'm still baiting out a lot of specials, and it's taking up a lot of time. I'm a bit annoyed by that, because obviously I just want to end this fight and close the book on this rather dreadful war. Which is why I just keep hitting him here instead of waiting out the SB1, but he throws it anyway. And finally, not quite finally, and finally, we finish it with a stylish SB2, cancelling my own medium. So, that was the end of this awful war. We did lose this war overall, luckily not by one, so I don't feel personally responsible. We lost by a fair few, so yeah. That's it for this war. Thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully I can get back together and think about matchups a lot more in future. That's the lesson really. Always think in detail about your matchups, read stuff up and all that. Hopefully that sort of thing won't happen to you. Thank you very much everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta.